Okay, good afternoon everybody. Hello! Hello, lots of you here today. Okay, my name's Annie. I'm one of the penguin keepers here. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about our colony of Humboldt penguins this afternoon whilst we watch them have some lunch. So these are Humboldt penguins. Normally, guys, we think of penguins to be somewhere where it's very, very cold, in the ice and in the snow, right? But actually, there's lots of species of penguin that do prefer the warmer climates of the world. So all species of penguin are found in the southern hemisphere, that's the bottom half of the globe. But they're not all found down there in the Antarctica where it's very, very cold. In fact, you find penguins in lots of places like New Zealand, Australia, Galapagos, Africa, so lots of different places. These guys, the Humboldt penguins, you find them in South America, so along the coastlines of Peru and Chile. So don't worry, they are very good at having this kind of climate around them that we have here in the UK. They do like it quite a lot, and that's why we can have this lovely open enclosure. But today I've actually got someone else to introduce you to as well. If you look above your heads, we also have 5 Inca terns in here as well, 5 flying birds. Now these guys have only been here 2 days now, so they're very, very new. Okay, so at the moment we have 5. They come from South America just like our Humboldt penguins, so along the coastlines of Peru and Chile as well. So they are found naturally together in the wild. But I'll introduce you to them properly in a little bit. I'll focus on our penguins for now. Diego, come out. Hello, buddy. So we do have 10 in here at the minute, and I know that if you don't know them, they do all look very, very similar to each other, but we've made it a little bit easier by giving them all coloured bands. So it's easier both for me and for you guys to see exactly who is who. So I'll introduce you to a few of them as we go round. But firstly, boys and girls, they look exactly the same, okay? They are a non-dimorphic species, which means that just by looking at them, there's no way to tell if they're a boy or a girl. But with our penguins, we've made it that little bit easier. Boys have their tags on the left-hand side, girls have theirs on the right. So Maria on the end here, she's one of our girls, she's got yellow. We also have Pingu on the right with the blue. So the easiest way to remember that is because girls are always right, okay? So as you can see, really easy to remember. Good girl, Maria. Now looking at them individually, they do all look very similar, but if you look at their bellies, they're black on the back. They have those white bellies with black spots all over them as well. Now that black spot pattern is actually individual to every single penguin, much like our fingerprint is unique to us. So it's another way that can be a way of telling them all apart. So we do know their belly patterns as well, so even if they didn't have their bands on, we'd still be able to see them all. Apart from that, they do all have massive personalities as well. All best in singing, okay? So I'll introduce you to a couple of them. I'll introduce you to one of our girls first, Pingu, here on the rocks with the blue on the right-hand side. She's very special. She's our oldest penguin, okay? So Pingu, she is 20 years old. So the Humboldt penguin in the wild can live to be 15 or 20 if they're lucky. But in captivity, they can be known to almost double their lifespan, okay? Life in captivity is much less stressful, so they can live much longer. There's always a constant supply of food. There's no predators in here, and if they get sick, of course, we have care for them as well. So lots of reasons why they can live much, much longer. There you go. Sorry, I'm being very fussy. Okay. But then Pingu's wristband is blue, but she's not the only one with a blue wristband in here. He's just come out to join us. This here is Augustine. Okay, he has blue as well, just like Pingu. The reason that these two have the same colour is because they are a pair. So they are boyfriend and girlfriend, or husband and wife, these two even. They've been together a very, very long time. But they're not the only pair that we have in here. We also have our 2 yellows. So Maria, she also has a boyfriend. His name is Darwin. Yeah, that's him in the water at the moment. That was him just singing just then. So those two are also a pair. So when they are together, they spend an awful lot of time together. They do everything together. They clean each other's feathers, they preen each other, they sing together, and they will always sleep in the same place as well. Sometimes you'll see one resting on the other. It's very, very sweet. So we do hope that maybe one day this may be a breeding colony of penguins. Chili, you're very hungry. Good boy. Okay. Okay, so guys, what am I feeding our penguins today? What do they like to eat? Fish, yes. Penguins love to eat fish. It is their favourite thing. It's not the only thing they eat. They do also eat things like krill and squid sometimes as well. Okay. Come on, Bilal, you can eat it. Good boy. There we go. But fish is their absolute favourite, okay? It consists of the main part of their diet. There we go. Okay. So of course they have to be very well adapted to catching that food. So when you see them swimming, they can be very, very fast when they want to be. Here comes Darwin, good boy. They can be very, very fast. And did you see any of our penguins chewing their food? Do you think they chew their food? There we go. Sorry, do penguins chew their food? No, penguins, they don't chew their food. It wastes an awful lot of time to chew a fish. By the time you've caught one and you've chewed it, the others will have all swam away. So instead they swallow it whole. And if you notice, they usually swallow it head first as well, because a fish is most streamlined from head to tail, so it makes it much easier to swallow. So instead they have barbed tongues, which means that they can pull that food into their mouth, and then it sits all in their throats at the top. Then what they will do is they'll stand on their land and they will shake their flippers, a little bit like Private is doing at the moment. You see, it looks like he's shaking. It's not because he's cold. What he's doing is he's tensing all of the muscles in his body to push that food from his throat down into his belly to make room for more. So lots of really clever adaptations that makes them very good at eating lots and lots of fish in one go. Especially Chili here. You just keep going. So guys, now I will just quickly introduce you to our Inca terns. So as I said, they do come from Peru and Chile just like these guys. And we're going to try and feed them. We'll see if they are hungry. So we have 5. We have 4 adults and 1 juvenile. Our juvenile is the one that is brown. He's the one on the end. So we'll see if they're hungry. Ready? There we go. So they've only been here 2 days, but they've settled in absolutely fantastically. We have 2 pairs, so the adults, they are both paired up as well. So maybe one day these guys will breed, if we're lucky. Missed that one. And they eat fish just like these penguins do. So they eat sprat as well and smelt as well sometimes. Juvenile. Oh, go on. So these guys in the wild, they can live to be maybe 12 or 14 if they're lucky, but again, they can almost double their lifespan in captivity. Again, life in here is much, much easier. Let's go. Nope. We'll leave them just for a minute. So we're very lucky to have these guys now. And when you hear they're laughing, they sound very, very funny when they're laughing. That's them talking to each other. Okay, I hope they're not just laughing at me. But do be aware when they are above your heads, they do like to poop an awful lot. I'm sure you guys have seen it before quite a bit. They seem to poop an awful lot. So do be careful. Okay. But unfortunately, guys, all of the birds that we have in here at the moment, they're not doing very well in the wild at the moment. So the penguins, they are classed as vulnerable. They're in massive decline at the moment. A couple of the reasons. One is to do with the fact that they love fish so much. Because, guys, we also love to eat fish. And we're taking an awful lot of it away from the water around where they live. So a penguin is spending much more time in the water looking for that fish that we've taken away. And that means that they're more vulnerable to being eaten by one of their predators. So does anyone know what likes to eat penguins in the wild? Could you shout out some guesses to me? Killer whales, yes. Seals. There's a couple more. Sharks. And there's one that's like a seal but a bit bigger. Sea lions, yes, sea lions in particular for this species, okay, big predators. So those animals have all got much more opportunity to try and catch these penguins in the water because they're spending so much time searching for that food. It's the same issues for the Inca terns. They can't find that food so easily because we've taken so much of it away. But the other reason is to do with how these guys breed. So who knows what the biggest species of penguin is? The emperor penguin, yes, and they can reach around 4 feet tall, very, very large. And they always lay 1 egg. Does anyone know where they keep that egg? On their feet, yes, and then they have a pouch that comes over to keep it safe and keep it warm. But smaller species of penguin, they're a little bit different.